All right, so it's been probably like over a week since I last uploaded a video, and I really wasn't even intending to do a video today, but I'm just gonna do one on what's been keeping me from doing more videos. I started yoga teacher training a week, 2 weeks ago, and it's involves a lot of introspective self work, which is something I always thought that I was pretty good at, being a trained therapist. Real kind of always thought like, oh, I'm just constantly doing that for myself in my own head and in my own work. But a lot of things have been coming to my attention throughout this past week and a half, and I realized that I'm very, very, very judgmental of myself in a critical way that causes me to doubt myself, even if other people aren't necessarily doubting me, or even if they are doubting me. It goes both ways. But for the sake of this, I felt some type of way about not uploading a video for a while, and so I figured that I would just come on here and share my shit, because that's what this channel is about. If anybody is just watching this channel for the first time, you're not really sure what the hell's going on here, I do feel like Woke Anonymous is a place for like group therapy for humanity, and I feel called to be able to be vulnerable enough to start the process. It's like I feel like this is me starting a meeting, that essentially if I was a round table or, with other people, they would be able to join in the discussion with me, and it would be that cathartic group effect. But I don't have anybody to talk to right now. So it's just the camera. And I hope that you guys can get something out of this just by listening. And if you do, or you don't, leave a comment, leave some feedback. If you have a question about anything that I'm talking about, feel free to ask me, leave a comment, whatever you got to do. If this helps you, share it with other people that it might help as well. Sharing is caring. So I'm going to share because I care about myself and everybody else. I don't want to get too lost in that. So yeah, I am very judgmental of myself, and I didn't really realize how much it keeps me stuck until this past week. And I've been very introspective about it, which is why I haven't filmed a video, because I really feel like, I'm questioning myself. Am I doing the right thing? Is this, is this even helpful for me? But I realized that my answer was based on whether or not I was getting a lot of feedback from people, and that, my channel was growing in an exponential way, or just, all of these materialistic, if you will, variables, that I was kind of just like putting in the forefront of my mind. And then combined with the fact that I have been doing a lot of inner work, a lot of self-work, some inner child work, and realizing what a bull I can be in my life and with my friends and my family. And, I feel like that comes from a place of being educated and curious, because I'm constantly curious. So I'm constantly educating myself about all kinds of different things. And so I feel almost kind of self-righteous in a way to bulldoze people with my information, because it's probably something they have never heard of before, or that they haven't looked at, or that they don't know yet. And it's my opportunity to shine. So, take this view and shove it down your throat, because it's going to be useful for you. Oh my God. Oh, and I have to laugh at myself. I don't have to laugh at myself, but I'm choosing to laugh at myself, because that's what I've realized in, past few years of taking a look at my shit. And even more so this week, that if I'm not laughing at myself for what I find, then I'm being like a tyrant or a dictator about what I find, and I'm, punishing myself with my thoughts and my behaviors and, self-sabotaging crap, as far as, like not setting a boundary and then not sticking to it, or telling myself I'm not going to do something and then I do it. I'm realizing I watched a really cool video the other day about chaos and resiliency by Greg Braden. I think he's on the Gaia channel. He's really awesome, and I know I talked a lot about before in my videos, and I still do, think about balance, but he was talking about balance and basically saying that it's not necessarily trying to maintain balance. It's about harmony, harmonizing the good with the bad, not really just trying to stay in the middle of the two zones and, not allowing yourself to teeter one way or another too much, but to find harmony in everything that you're choosing to do in your life. And I thought that I really breathed a deep, breath of relief, a sigh of relief with that concept, because I realized that I am either on one side or the other. I talk a lot about, I know that there's two sides, and I do know that there's two sides, but I'm not as disciplined as I would like to be, while trying to just kind of flow in and out of both of those sides. And I'm talking about the good, the bad, the pure, the evil, the whatever you want to call it, disciplined and undisciplined, whatever you want to call it. And that's my work, is to find harmony in allowing myself to do the things that I say that I'm not going to do anymore, because I know that I'm going to do them still. And so when I do them, not getting so down on myself for doing it, and allowing myself to not stay there until my frustrations just propel me out of there, because that's what my process looks like right now. I stay in a certain place until I get annoyed or bored or frustrated enough, and then, I seek something out that's exciting, and I just propel myself forward to that, work on it for a little bit, and if it's not unfolding as rapidly as I would have hoped, I start to find something else to do. I start to look at something else, and I want to be able to sit in my uncomfortability and not just know about it. There's a difference between knowing and doing. And so if I just know about it and I don't do anything about it, I create a lot of shame for myself. And shame encourages me to stay in my comfort zone, because it tells me that I have big dreams, but they're unrealistic and it's just not going to work out for you. But then on the flip side of that, I become disheartened about the idea of staying exactly where I am, because don't get me wrong, I love where I'm at, but this isn't it. I want this to be, I want myself and my life and my purpose to reach anybody and everybody that it would benefit. And my judgment of self is prevents me from actually truly believing that I will get there someday. It's really kind of tough for me to daydream, and I realize that that's because I'm such an intellectualizer and I'm so critical of myself that whenever my inner child wants to daydream about, something that I really feel I want to see happen in my life, my adult self starts picking out, well, you're here right now, and this is this circumstance right now, and that's not where you're at. So bring it back down, reel it in, girlfriend, get real with where are you at right now? And I'm in this push and pull of wanting to be more connected to my inner child so that I can allow myself to let go of the chokehold I have on my destiny. But the adult me tries to say that I'm keeping myself grounded and I'm being realistic. And, grow up, really. Ugh, I feel like tears are coming. I hate that phrase. I hate that. I used to hate when people would say that to me. Not that they did a lot, but I'm just thinking of an instance where the first guy I ever dated one time told me to grow up, and we broke up because he said that to me. And that just doesn't sit well with me, that phrase. I always hated that. And I mean, yeah, it's a little dramatic to break up with somebody over that, but whatever. I was fucking 16. But why? Like, am I know I'm stuttering a lot, but this is like this is literally choking my brain right now. It's choking me. This judgment of self, it's trying to be a dictator about what I should be saying, where I should be going, what I shouldn't be doing, how I should be spending my days. And I found that I'm so damn critical of myself that and I really have a tough time relaxing when when I don't have anything to do. I'm so addicted to being busy. I cannot seem to just relax. And even if I am relaxing, it's the middle of the day or on a Sunday, like all day, I am constantly in my head talking about, you should be doing this, or you don't really have time to waste, or don't forget you wanted to get this done, and la 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 la, running through just my Rolodex of to-dos and should be doings that I don't even feel like I relaxed, even though I probably did absolutely nothing that day. And then, when it's time to actually do something that I have responsibilities for, like job and other things in life, I am, it's almost like a relief, because now I know, like, okay, well, at least I have that to do. So I know I'm going to be doing something, as opposed to just sitting here trying to decide what I should be doing based on, however I'm prioritizing this to-do list in my head. And it's not even like a lot of physical things. I'm talking about little things that I want to be doing, adding into my life, like reading and drawing again, and teaching myself to play the keyboard, all these little things, working on my handstands, all kinds of different things that I've been wanting to do, but I slack on them because I don't know. Because I judge myself so much that once I start doing them, it's not even fun for me anymore, because I'm constantly like that helicopter parent, or like that dance mom that's, like dancing with the girl, or like with the child, and, making sure that they're doing every move correctly, and almost not even letting the child have the experience for themselves. It's the parent having the experience for the child. And if the child doesn't live up to, the parent's expectation, then do they feel good about their performance, or, not? And so that's kind of like the battle between my adult self and my inner child right now. Is my adult self is just trying to not let my inner child just be. And I'm so fucking hypercritical of myself, and it's keeping me stuck in my comfort zone. It's not allowing me to break down the walls of my reality right now. Not allowing myself to kind of see what could potentially be my future. It's just telling me, well, take into consideration everything that's happening right now, and that will tell you whether or not you're going to reach your goals. I don't know. I just think that's very stunting. And if that sounds like something that you do, I get it. I get it. It sucks, and it's not easy to break through. But I feel like tears are right there, and whatever. I don't mind if I cry on this, but I wrote some notes to try to stay on track. I really didn't want this to be very long. Are your thoughts helpful or harmful? I think I just kind of went through that, but consider that for yourself. Is what you're thinking helping you to continue to stay motivated and to push forward and to expand your perception and to reach for something that you never thought you would really be able to reach for, or that you even should be reaching for? Or are they harming you? Are they telling you, are they being a dictator, kind of like mine? Are they, dictating whether or not you're going to remain comfortably uncomfortable in your comfort zone? Because that's kind of where I'm at right now. And the revelations seem pretty backbreaking because it just seems like everything has to change or everything will change. And that's a very scary thought, but at the same time, scary in what way? Scary in a new way or scary in a way that I'm not going to make it? And that's up to me to decide. New things are always scary, going to a new school or starting a new job or moving to a new house, starting a new relationship. There's this sort of fear attached to it, but it's sometimes like an exciting anxiousness, like an exciting fear. You're excited, but you're kind of fearful of like, well, what's it going to be like, or how's it going to turn out? And that's really for us to decide as we experience these things. And so, that's my work that I'm trying to do right now, is allow myself to, take my dictator self out of my own way and just be open to the opportunities that come to me as I, talk about this stuff with people in my life and as I share my life with others. Because that's what the universe does. When you put your feet to the ground and you do the work and you just live your life, it will bring to you the people that are most helpful for your evolution, evolution to your higher self. It's nothing happens for no reason. I don't believe that things happen for no reason, at least. And so just taking a look at everything that's happening in your life, the people that you're meeting, the people that you're talking to, that you run into, the situations that you're experiencing, the no's that you're getting told, the opportunities that you're given, all these different things, good, bad, and indifferent, are gifts from the universe to encourage us to keep going with fulfilling our life's purpose, because we don't really know what the finite details are going to look like, and we shouldn't, because we like to plan things, or I like to plan things, and you just can't plan these things that haven't happened yet because you just don't know how they're going to happen. Harmonize your accountability. So I did talk a little bit about harmony when I spoke about Greg Braden's video that I watched, and it was a really cool concept. So harmonizing my accountability, not allowing myself to do the work in silence, complete silence, but also not allowing, allowing myself to have other people hold me accountable by sharing my shit with them and sharing my challenges and my life experiences, so that they can have an opportunity to, one, continue to know me, but two, to hold me accountable. That's an opportunity for them to practice boundaries and accountability, which helps them as well. So if I do the work in silence, then I can rob that experience from people. And then I also, just keep it in my own dictatorship of a mind, because I'm the one who's, going to tell myself if I'm moving at the right speed or not, or if I'm taking the right turn or not. And I know I talk a lot about right and wrong, and that's not about that, but my dictator mind doesn't necessarily agree with that. It wants evidence for right doings, and if it's not enough, then I talk myself out of continuing to do those things. And then later on in retrospect, I feel some type of damn way about it. And once they stack up enough, I discourage myself from continuing to do that thing at all. And I will not allow that to be part of this. So I'm just sharing my experience on this video. I really didn't even know that it was, going to turn into this, but I'm hoping this is helpful for anybody out there, because I'm feeling like trapped by my own mind, and I just played some tricks on myself, and I should have known better, but I allowed it to happen, and now I'm doing something about it, because if I don't do this about it, I will talk myself out of doing these, and I'm not willing to do that. Oh boy. Okay, hypercritical in times of vulnerability and starting new things. Yes, so this is a newer thing for me. I don't think I really need to explain that, but I find that I am extremely hypercritical of myself when trying something new, or trying something that I feel I'm totally capable of doing. And even though I might be doing a good job according to others, I'm picking out all the things that I could have been doing better, which means that I'm looking at what wasn't good enough. And I hate to admit that about myself, but that's the first part. Oh, I wrote something down here that kind of reminds me of this. Self-knowledge doesn't guarantee happiness, but it encourages you to go about discovering what it means to you. So yeah, just if you don't know about yourself, you can't do anything about yourself. And when you do know about yourself, or you're just curious, or you stay open to, ever evolving, increasing self knowledge and awareness, it doesn't guarantee that you're going to be happy with what you find, but it gives you the power, the capacity to discover what it means to you, and to, go on an exploration with yourself, in your own mind, in your feelings. Take your inner child by the hand and ask them, what they want us to know that's going to help us stay connected. Because to me, that's what the inner child is all about, is staying connected with your true self. You're a child before anything. And so that's your first knowledge of self. Your inner child has a lot of secrets. Just because no one is clapping doesn't mean they're not watching. I've said this to other people before, and I need to take my own advice right now, heed my own understanding, because I know that, and I don't believe that I feel like I need a lot of feedback or acknowledgement for what I'm doing here, but at the same time, I do. I just got to say that, because I want to believe that I'm helping other people, but if I don't hear back from them, or I don't hear anything from them, how do I know that I'm helping? But that's up to me to decide, because even if they did say that, oh my God, you helped me so much, I listened to it, I could essentially choose not to believe them. And I could just say, oh, they're just feeding me a line of bullshit. They're just trying to, people please, trying to make me happy. They're just trying to tell me something good because they don't know what else to say right now, la 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 la. But I want to take more interest in my own commitment to myself, if that made sense. I always, not always, but past few years, I've, felt pretty grounded and felt like I've committed, I'm committed to myself and to becoming my healthiest self. And it's not a complete no, I've done a lot of things in my life to change my lifestyle to be more healthy. But it doesn't mean that I've done everything that I could. And so, getting in touch with my inner child has shown me just that I'm neglecting a lot of foundational aspects of my growth process, while focusing more on, the trees and the branches. I'm kind of thinking of a tree right now. Like, just because I have roots already, just because I've grown into a tree, I can stand up straight, doesn't mean that I just need to be focusing on, how pretty the tree looks, or how big and full it is, and if it's pruned and it's, nice looking and tame and maintained and managed, whatever. I want to be focused on the roots, on the foundation that's holding me, connected to life. That if you don't have healthy soil, if you don't have healthy roots, essentially your whole tree or your plant is going to die. And so that's kind of where my work is at right now. I hope this is making sense. I feel like I'm just babbling, but that's what I always do. Yeah. So making sure that I'm focused more on my roots and making sure those are healthy, because if you have healthy roots and healthy soil, you will have a healthy plant or a healthy tree. That's just the way that shit works. Do my judgments stunt my growth, or do your judgments stunt your growth? I think I just kind of talked about this for 25 minutes at this point. Holy moly. So yeah, I'm going to try to stop judging that. I could talk a lot. I can talk a hell of a lot more than 25 minutes about something, but I want to make sure that I don't lose you guys, and I know that I don't really have control of that. But that my message doesn't really just get lost in gen translation. So are your judgments stunting your growth? That's for you to ask yourself. If they are, ask yourself what you're going to do about it. What's one way that you can step out of your own way? What's one judgment that you can, take a look at and step away from, or just modify a little bit? Ask yourself where these judgments came from. That was my next one. Whose judgments are these? Caregivers, parents, friends, family, relationships, teachers, bosses, anything. Who else thinks like you do? Who else judges like you do? And are your self-judgments from them? Did they teach you how to look at the world? Most likely yes. And so a lot of us sometimes feel like we're betraying these people if we choose to go against what they taught us mentally, or like thought-wise, perception-wise. But how much of a disservice are you doing for yourself by abiding by a perception that is not originally yours? It's not easy to change those things either, because they're ingrained from us mostly from childhood. We don't, as a child, we're taught everything that we're supposed to know. And so as an adult, if these things aren't working for you anymore, you've got to be able to do something about it. And to kind of grow in a different direction doesn't mean that you're growing necessarily apart or away. Maybe you are, maybe you aren't. It's not always a bad thing. But it doesn't mean that you're just forgetting how you got here. It's about taking into consideration how you got here and asking yourself where you're going to go next with it. Because how did you end up here? Did you do it intentionally, or did you just go through the motions of life and land in a place that you never really intended to be in, and you're not really sure what to do with it now? Yeah, I'm going to rewatch this video and clean it up, maybe do another one on Thursday. Whew. Thanks for watching. If you got through this, thanks a lot. I hope this was helpful for anybody, somebody, anybody. If it was, or even if it wasn't, and you feel like somebody would benefit from this, please feel free to share this video, share any of the videos on my channel. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for listening. And happy waking. Thanks.